Good morning. In this discussion, I would like to talk about Taliban, their resurgence, and how it poses a grave threat, and how it is linked to the independence of Hijaz. Taliban have grown significantly over the past few months. This is very concerning for the entire world, especially the Muslims. While Taliban call themselves Muslims, they represent an extremist mentality that has resulted in the killing of thousands of innocents of all religions, creed, culture, sects. They adhere to the hardline Wahabi mentality, which is shared by many other extremist organizations like the ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Once Taliban gain power again in Afghanistan, they will again massacre innocent humans in Afghanistan and breed more terror around the world. Growth of Taliban should not be taken as a standalone event. It is a consequence of the policies adopted by the extremist regime of Saudi Arabia. And it has been made possible because of their control of Hijaz and the custodianship of the two of the most holiest sites in Islam, that is Makkah and Medina. It has allowed the rulers of Aal-e-Saud to propagate their propaganda, their agenda, and the extremist mentality around the world. Let's break down the sects of Islam and see what I'm talking about. There are two primary sects in Islam. One is Shia, the followers of the 12 Imams from the household of the Prophet, and then second is Sunnah, the followers of the Sunnah of the Prophet as narrated by the Ashab of the Prophet. Most of these existed for hundreds of years. The Sunnah sects. The Shia sects, there is only primary one sect. There are multiple subsects within Sunnah. Most of them have stayed and existed for hundreds of years, except for this sect, which is the extremist sect, Wahabism. It got real prominence after the 1920s when the House of Saud adopted it as an official sect of the newly formed country, Saudi Arabia. The Wahhabi ideology is named after Abdul Wahhab, who lived in the 1700s, and he was influenced by the teachings of another cleric, Ibn Taymiyyah, who lived in 1300s, which is roughly 600 years after the death of the Prophet. So his mentality is coming after 600 years, not coming from the root. Now, Wahhabism is the official sect of Saudi Arabia and is fully supported by Saudi government since the very beginning. It has been exported to the entire world and has been accelerated after 1970s due to two reasons. One, due to the wealth they gained from the oil. Number two, the custodianship of Makkah and Medina. For average Muslim around the world, this custodianship gives them legitimacy and authority on Islam because they think that whoever is controlling Makkah and Medina should be listened to, should be adhered to. And that is why this particular sect has spread like wildfire in Islam. This illegitimate custodianship, because they were not the custodians from the very beginning. They took control by force through a political ploy after the First World War. It's a big reason why people are following them. While anyone can do whatever they want, but creating chaos and producing killers should not be allowed by anyone. However, that's what this Wahhabi mentality has done. It has twisted the context of Quranic verses and produced a generation of cold blooded hardliners. If one argues that this is not the case, let's just see the history of Muslim extremist terrorist organizations like Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Taliban, Lashkar-e-Jhangvi. All of them have one thing in common, two things in common. One, they were all followers of the Wahhabi mentality. Two, they were declared extremist banned organizations. Therefore, in order to cull the support of terrorism, the Muslim Ummah should come together to liberate Hijaz from the clutches of Aal-e-Saud, and the true essence of Islam should be propagated through the holy cities of Makkah and Medina. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.